My name is Ellie, Gabriella Marie Carnuccio. I'm Italian. I am 21 years old.
My name is Josh Demai. I'm 21 and I'm getting married this year in December. I remember the first time I saw her, and that was, we were at a Bible study. And I remember she was just like in the little corner of the couch, and I remember looking at her and I'm like, wow, she's like this small little girl just cuddled up in a corner. But then as she was talking, I noticed that she definitely had a greater knowledge of just the Bible. She had deep feelings, and it was very obvious the first time I saw her.
I thought he was a cute kid with a lot of fluffy brown hair, and he was really quiet. He was really, really quiet, didn't really say much. The next day we had off from school, so everybody in the Bible study went to a 24-hour diner, and he and I sat across from each other, and I was like, hee, like I get to talk to him. But we probably didn't really talk at all that night. I just got to sit across from him and have fun staring at him. I don't know. I was probably creepy, but I enjoyed, that. I remember that night vividly. That's how we first met.
We'd start having a hangout, and Mandy wouldn't show up, so it'd just be me, Bill, and Ellie, or Bill wouldn't show up, it'd just be me, Ellie, and Mandy. Like one time where Ellie and I were by ourselves, and we just really got to talk and interact with each other, and that's kind of when I really started liking her. And so I invited her to come over to my house and go into the woods and lay out a blanket and just look at the stars. And we got hot chocolate, and we just laid there. And I think that was the first date. Honestly, I don't. It was so long ago. So Ellie and I ended up breaking up after a year of dating, and somehow she ended up going to Penn State, and I was at Penn State too. And I still really liked her, and we were in the same ministry, like church ministry crew. And I would watch her, and I still liked her. I was like, oh, why do I like her? Like we broke up, but I can't stop thinking about her, and I can't stop, I tried not liking her, it just didn't work.
He multiple times said, I'm interested in you. I would love to get to know you better. I would love to get to know each other again. Are you interested in that? And each time I wasn't, up until last April when he asked me again, and I said yes.
I got like a Jenga set, and I wrote questions on each Jenga, and just to show my intention that I was really trying to be serious this time while dating, and make sure that I was being intentional to ask questions and get to know her better.
We one by one took out a block and read the block, and then the other person would answer it, and I would answer it, and then I'd put it on top, and then he would take out a block and read the question, and it was just really refreshing. I think that's what I would describe it as. I was really unsure about dating at first. Anybody. I was just really hesitant to date anybody. I felt really loved that he had waited. I didn't expect to cry. I felt really loved that he had waited and cared about me and thought about, it was a simple Jenga set, but he cared about me enough to take each block, and he said his roommate helped him and write on each thing, and he wanted to know me again, and I hadn't done anything to deserve that.
And that was what we would call our first date now. Oh gosh, proposal. Knew I wanted to get married to her, and we had talked about it.
It's funny because that previous week, I had told him, I decided you shouldn't buy me a ring. Little did I know he had the ring and had been making the ring with the jeweler for a month and a half.
The day of the proposal was going to be on a Friday night, and I had ordered these Christmas lights, these LED lights, and they're really cool because you had a remote with them, and you could turn them on from far away. Friday came and the lights didn't come. Amazon Prime had lost my lights. I was like, crap, what am I going to do? I can't propose without these, because I wanted to go up on a mountain and string up lights. I called her. I was just like, Ellie, I'm tired, or I can't do the date tonight. And so the next day, I called the UPS store and made sure that they brought my lights.
I don't know if he said this, but I'm very type A, I think. I'm pretty high strung, and I plan a lot. And he's kind of go with the flow. If things don't work out, he'll figure it out. So I didn't think it was odd that he had asked me that he had moved the date, because I was like, he probably just forgot something or didn't make a reservation. Whatever, doesn't matter.
I told her I was going to pick her up at 5 to go out, because I wanted to watch the sunset, and then when it got dark I wanted to turn the lights on, and that'd be the time I proposed. And so I went up there to try to find a good place. And I thought I knew where I wanted to go. But when I went up there was 2 people camping. And they were just about to set up. They didn't set up yet. I was like, hey guys, like I was going to propose to my girlfriend tonight. I was wondering if you guys could just move away for a little bit. And the people were like, no, like we don't want to move. I was in a panic mode at this point. So I was like running around trying to find a good place. I finally found a place to string up the lights. I strung it up. And while I was stringing it up, it was 5 o'clock. And I was like, crap, like I need to pick up Ellie now. And so I called her. I'm like, hey Ellie, like I had this exam. It's taking a lot longer than I thought. I actually had an exam, but I already did it. It was online.
Still didn't think anything of it because Josh just sometimes takes a while to get things together.
And then I ran home. I was all sweaty. And so I jumped in. I didn't take a shower. I just threw on deodorant and put on nice clothes. And I told my roommates, because I needed somebody to take pictures. So I told one of my roommates, I'm like, can you go up there and just like hide in the bush? And when I said that, all my other roommates were like, can I go, can I go, can I go? About 6 of them went up there. And I'm like, whatever you do, you can't let her see you.
We got up to David's Vista and I was all bundled up in my parka jacket and he had his jacket and we were just holding hands and walking through the woods.
And as we were walking by this bush, we heard something in the bush. And she's like, what is that? Like, is there somebody in there? I was like, no, just keep looking, keep walking, keep walking. Because I knew it was probably one of my roommates.
And he just started sharing things that he loved about me. Just was sharing his heart about why he cared about me. And then we went to the side where you can look over the mountains. He shared some more about his heart, and then I got hungry, and I was like, I want to go home because I'm hungry. And he was like, well, I have something to show you.
As we were walking up to where the lights were set, like up above us, I went to turn them on, and they weren't turning on. Like with my remote, I was like, what the heck is happening?
He like kind of paused and I saw some lighting under like some leaves and I was like, what's that? And he was like, oh, it's this. And like some of these lights came on in the woods and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And he was like, they're not working. And he got down next to the tree and he's like unplugging things.
Finally, like half of the lights went up on one tree. I'd strung them up on a whole bunch of trees. I was like, what happened? And since I was gonna propose, I'm like, okay, whatever. At least some lights popped up.
And at this point, I was realizing what was happening. I got down next to him, put my arm around him, and I was like, this is wonderful. And I'm so thankful that you love me enough to do something fun like this. So he was like, well, we'll go with it. And he took my hand and he walked me out in front of the lights.
And so I got on a knee and I just started talking. And to this day, we have no clue what I said.
And I was like, yes. Like, wow, this moment is here and I'm saying yes. And I'm never going to say yes again to anybody because I'm marrying you. And I've thought about this moment my whole life. And it was crazy. It was just really surreal. But and then his roommates came out of the woods. It really did make it memorable. Like, I'm glad it wasn't like perfect, perfect, perfect. Like, what happened was perfect because it was us. It's life. So it's fun. I love that he's very analytical. Like, he doesn't just take something and believe it. He hears something and he's like, let me think about that. Life is very meaningful to him all the time.
She has a lot of good traits. But my favorite one is probably the loving heart that she has towards other people. The way that she sacrifices her life for other people is something that I really admire, and it's something that is definitely what attracted me to her.
Wait, one other thing.
Go ahead, yeah.
I love how he reads the Bible. I love it. Again, like goes along with his analytical personality trait. Like, he can sit and read the Bible for hours and hours and hours on end. Every day. He did it all summer. He sat in a coffee shop because that was his job, which is complicated. But he sat and read his Bible every day for hours and hours and hours and loved it. And it's made me love it. I guess that's a personality trait. I don't know. But I love that.
Right now, we have to say goodbye to each other every time we hang out, and I hate that. I hate saying goodbye to her.
I go to my apartment, he goes to his apartment, and I'm just like, I just want to live life with you. I don't want to separate anymore. I want to be a team with him, and I want to live life with him.
So being married, we're gonna be with each other, and we'll be able to go to sleep together and wake up together and just live life together.
And I can't wait to have a family with him. We are going to be a family, and we are going to create other little human beings, which will raise, and they will create their own families. And cultivating that, like, that is such a gift.
I'm fine with having a lot of kids. So if I was to put a number, I think I want to keep it even. So like 6 or 8, it's probably a lot, but 7's fine. I grew up with a lot of kids in the family, and I was never bored because I always had somebody to hang out with.
I can't wait to continue to be somebody in this life who says, I see you, and I see the potential in you, and I see that you are more than just a quiet kid sitting at a dinner table. Like, you have so much to offer. He is a treasure. He is. He's a gem.
She loves me very well. She doesn't think that sometimes, but she does. And I really appreciate that from her.